We're getting ready for another big boxing weekend here on Yahoo Sports, and Kevin Iole is hanging out in Atlantic City and getting ready for Paul Williams and Sergio Martinez. Good fight on the horizon, right?
Oh, it should be a great fight, Steve. It was our 2009 Fight of the Year on Yahoo Sports, and, you know, there's no indications that it won't be anything but a really good action-packed fight this time around.
You know, there's something that's becoming a sticking point, though, and, I talked to you during the week about this with the Pac-Man fight and the fact that he apparently won a 154 title when neither fighter was allowed to weigh 154, and now the same thing is going down this week where middleweight titles are up for grabs. I mean, that's a very prestigious title, and neither guy is allowed to weigh 160.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, this shows, you know, the weight limit on this fight is 158. That was at the request of Paul Williams' advisor, Al Heyman. Paul Williams claims he doesn't care, that he would fight at whatever weight. You know, Dan Goossen says it's because he wanted to fight at welterweight, and so he's moving up. So he just wanted to have some limit. But you know what? If you're going to fight for a championship, to me, it's the championship weight. So you can weigh whatever you, no problem, like Manny Pacquiao in his fight. You know, he weighed 144, whatever he was, 144.6. You know, no problem. Hey, you're allowed to be under. It's just you can't be over. So, hey, I just don't like this catchweight stuff. I think it devalues. The championships are already devalued enough by the shenanigans the sanctioning bodies pull, the WBC, the WBA, the IBF, the WBO. They pull all sorts of things that are just reprehensible. So they've already devalued their own belts enough. Doing this catchweight stuff makes it even worse.
Yeah, I don't really get it with Williams. I saw one line from him. He said, I didn't want to be bloated and have to come in at 160. Well, don't come in at 160. Come in at 158. You don't know if you can do anything you want.
Exactly. I mean, you can come in at 155. I mean, whatever weight you feel you're comfortable at. It's ridiculous, this negotiating edge that guys are trying to get, you know, say, hey, I won this, you know, round of negotiation. I mean, that's taken away from the product that you're giving to the public. You know, most times it doesn't affect it, but there are times it does. And I just don't understand it. I mean, Sergio Martinez is the middleweight champion. He's defending his belt, and yet he can't weigh the middleweight limit. That's ridiculous.
Well, you know, down the road, Paul Williams may get it back, though, because if he fights smaller guys, maybe they need to be more demanding with him.
Yeah, I mean, he claims that he's going to make 147, so, you know, I just don't buy it. I mean, the thing is, you know, that, you know, I get Dan Goossen's argument. You know, he's looking for a fight with Manny Pacquiao or Floyd Mayweather, but really with Pacquiao, you know, that, hey, Thomas Hearns was big and tall and rangy, and Roberto Duran was short with short arms, and they still fought. I get that. And I understand that there's something there. But you know what? Manny Pacquiao is a guy that started at junior flyweight and has moved up to where he is, whereas, you know, Roberto Duran started at lightweight. You know, so it's a little bit of a different, you know, situation here. And I think Pacquiao has kind of hit where he is. And, you know, Williams, if he's going to move down and say, I want to fight at 147, well, number one, you haven't made it in 30 months. And number two, you know, if you do make it, what you're going to be in, you know, that. So, you know what, fight it what your natural weight is, and whatever your natural weight is, that's where you should be fighting.
When they step in the ring tomorrow night, you know, the 158 thing, the 160 thing is going to be an afterthought. Who do you think is going to win the fight? What happens this time around?
You know, I think number one, Steve, I think it's going to be a really good fight. And the one thing I like about this fight is, you don't know. I mean, I have a feeling it's going to be Sergio Martinez, that Martinez is going to pull the fight out. I think he's going to win a decision. But this is one of those fights where you can make a case for either guy and not be bad. You know, the Pacquiao fight last week, you know, you had to really stretch to come up with a reason to pick Antonio Margarito decision. Williams is going to have to prove to me, too, that the way he looked against Kermit Cintron, he was getting hit a lot, and he looked a half step off, that he's going to have to prove that was an aberration. You know, I'm wondering if, you know, hey, Paul's been in 42, 43 fights. You know, he throws a lot of punches, and when you throw as many punches as he do, you get hit coming back. And so, you know, I think there's just a little question, is Paul still 100% of what the best Paul Williams can be? I don't think he is. You know, I think maybe he's 95%, and if that's the case, I go to Sergio Martinez.
All right, thanks, Kev.
Thank you, Steve.